Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the live show with Musart. Today I have Nazia Khatun, who is a fitness body transformationist. Hope I said that right. And what that is she works with mindset, she works with body, but you know what? She has had a very interesting journey coming towards it with a big stigma of weight loss, and here she is. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And I really appreciate your time. And I know you're a very busy lady.
Try to be.
Working with so many clients.
Yeah,
so tell me your journey. What got you into this?
The fitness journey or the body transformation?
The body transformation, whatever.
When people ask me that, I always say it was my experience growing up and my whole take on the fitness industry and how I experienced my diet and exercising and what it was like growing up as a Muslim Bangladeshi female in this country, really. Yeah.
So it must have been hard. Like, what was it? Was it because I've had a bit of weight loss issues growing up as well, I think, even till now. I think it just stays with you, isn't it? I think if you were a bit chubby at one point and then, or, a bit, somebody say something to you, or bullies you as you're getting older, well, it can be bullying sometimes that you're overweight and you get very self-conscious. What were you self-conscious at that age?
On a different scale, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when you are growing up, whether you are Muslim or not, whether you're Bangladeshi or not, I think human beings in general, we have it embedded in us. We all want to look good.
Yes.
We all want to look nice for other people. And being fat or chubby or overweight is something that we already know from a very young age is not somehow acceptable. It's somehow along the line we pick it up from the environment, advertising, what we see on television, magazines. So by the time I was, going through that beautiful transformational time, what we call puberty, I was gaining weight. I was very tall for my age as well. And you have family members that will say, oh, you're getting a bit chubby or you're a bit overweight. And it's like, oh.
Was it continuous?
It's so funny. I felt like it was, but it probably wasn't.
How old were you?
Probably about going to 12 years old and everything.
Is that when it hit you more?
Yeah, but then you compare yourself.
Were you really chubby or were you just...
Again, my sisters would say I wasn't that chubby, but in my head I was like obese.
Really?
But it was probably just a size 14, and that was size 14 to 16. And I was very more chubbier then. I had a few extra rolls that shouldn't have been there. But then my diet was appalling as well. And then you have family members that will say things like, you're a bit healthy today.
No.
And that sinks in, is like, oh, sugar. Is that right? Is that wrong? Is that acceptable?
Too much?
Yeah. I'm like, truly did. Of course I did.
14, 16, I think that's not such a big size, I would say.
At that time, for me, it was like, oh, wow.
You said you were quite tall.
For my height, for my age at the time, for 12, I was tall, like this high. And I've not grown since.
Oh, bless you. I'm about to say, you ain't that tall, but I'm saying, you're like a nice height, you're not scarily tall height kind of thing.
I'm petite for the Bangladeshi lot. I carry myself like I'm 6 foot tall.
Okay.
2, I think.
Okay. Well, so then how long did that last for, this self-consciousness of food, and did you stop eating? What did you do?
It lasted for a very long time. I think it's still embedded somewhere in my thoughts of being conscious of the way I look. But if I'm brutally honest with you, that journey took me to a place where I discovered what eating disorders were and told it the wrong way. And that started at the age, I would say, by the time I got to college, which was at the age of 16. And I went from an all-girls school. Now there was boys there. And what do all females do at that age? It's hormonal imbalance. Yeah. You get like attention.
You want to look good.
Yeah, you want to look good. And I went in and all the girls were like super skinny, super petite. And they were wearing these lovely clothes. And there's me in my tracksuit bottoms with a big cap on and trying to hide myself in more baggy clothes, which made me look 10 times bigger than what I thought. And that's where I became very conscious actually of how I looked. And I wanted to look like these other Indian girls, not realizing my frame was already quite structured in a way where it was probably broad shoulders and everything. And it was the second year of my college, if I remember, and I went on this stupid diet and then there was bulimia in the form of the eating disorder, and then it took me to...
So before that, you didn't have this problem?
No, I was not. I was conscious, but there was no such thing as what is a diet.
So no, but from the age from 11 to 16, where you didn't care so much then, were you just...
No, I was just enjoying being a teenager, being at school.
So obviously the comments then didn't really affect
you. It didn't really know.
Until you reached 16,
Yeah.
that then you... Okay,
Yeah.
so then you were at college and you started... Did you get into a bulimic stage, you said?
Yeah, that's when I became bulimic, and that's when the bulimia led to being anorexic. And
so what would you do? Would you throw up, or would you...
So bulimia is, you need a trigger first
Yeah.
of all. Any eating disorders is a trigger of something that's, it could be a trauma.
Yes.
It could be somebody saying you're fat. It could be somebody saying you're not pretty enough, or you're trying to prove or be in control of something. So bulimia is when you voluntarily make yourself sick after eating something, and it can be very dangerous, and it can lead to premature death as well. But then every person who goes through any kind of eating disorders, it also comes in another form, which is anorexia, binge eating as well. And most people can't actually, become aware of what's going on. I didn't realize at the time I was bulimic. I didn't put a disorder attached to it. I just thought, oh, hold on a minute, here's another perfect way of losing weight. Who needs to go to the gym?
So just eat and puke, which is quite a scary condition actually. Because I've studied psychology, so I know it can happen, and it's a very scary place to be, because you're not getting any nutrition get into your body. So the food that you've eaten are not providing any. So you can lose out on a lot of vitamins, essential minerals, and you can really be very high in deficiency.
Exactly. So you can imagine the mental state.
Yeah, that must be scary.
Anybody actually.
So you went anorexic after that?
By the time I went to university, which was, I think by then I was about 20, I just stopped eating altogether. And I remember vividly there was times when I would only eat 1 apple a day.
How did you survive?
I have no idea.
How did you
I really don't. I don't know. This is one of the key things. When I look back at my journey, my studies suffered a lot, because I went from being an extrovert from school in the first year of college, and I became like a social introvert, and I was very timid. My confidence went from there to there. So 3 years I spent at university not talking to anyone, in a full isolation, and studying was very hard, because I thought I was dumb. While other people were just reading 1 page and doing their essays, I have to read it about 10 times.
Because if you're not eating, how's your brain meant to function?
Exactly. I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah.
And it was almost like I conditioned myself of thinking, I'm just going to read this 10 times more till I get it. And you don't know what you're doing at a young time. Did your
parents noticed it, that you're not eating?
Well, my parents, when you're growing up in an Asian family, we're not taught about eating disorders. These are things that is never addressed, because apparently these things don't happen in Asian communities. And eating disorders is viewed as a Western Caucasian female issue that we handle, but it's not the truth. And because my parents, I'm the firstborn, they've never had to deal with this. And
they probably had lots of high expectations
of course, and it was almost like, snap out of it, stop being silly. And
so how much did you weigh by this point?
By university, I think I lost at least 2.5 stones by then, or maybe more. My lowest, I was 8 stones, which was stupid.
Must have been tiny.
It was like stick and bones, and because I have a big face, it was just like a big lollipop.
Oh gosh, bless you.
Thing. But and you never know it when you look at me, because I used to wear clothes. I used to hide my body all the time, so you couldn't tell the size of it. You couldn't tell if I had gone big, skinny, or anything. But my parents picked up on it quite soon, rather than later, actually, because they noticed my weight just drastically dropping all the time, my mood swings, being erratic all the time, arguing all the time. And then it was just
what
like,
about your college friends in this? I mean, your uni friends?
No, nobody knew my eating disorders. So sometimes when I tell my colleagues now, when they hear live videos and my articles that I write, they go, Nazia, I had no idea. I go, I didn't really want a tabloid at the time. It's not something you go and say, hey, I've got an eating disorder, look at me. Because it is a form of attention seeking as well. When you're going through those kind of things, it's a battle. It's like you want to be noticed, but you get noticed for the wrong reasons as well. And
So Okay, so you're at university. So by the time you finished university, were you still very?
So in between with the eating disorders,
When did you
I
start? Did you not
discovered
start realizing I have a problem?
I didn't think I had a problem. I thought I was pretty normal, really.
So when did you start eating again? Will be my next question.
um, well, when I stopped my eating disorder was actually two key points. Two key things happened. I have a lot of sisters, and the youngest one was probably about 7 or 8. And one day I was throwing up after having rice and curry, and I was forcing myself to throw up in the bathroom, thinking nobody knows in the house when everybody knew.
Oh gosh.
And my sister went running into the family living room and said, big sister's throwing up. And it was like, oh, sugar, my younger sister knows I'm throwing up. What am I portraying to her? This is not being a role model. And that's when it hit me. That's not a good idea to show that to drop weight, I have to go through all of this and be a horrible sister around. And there was a second turning point, which was I got so used to throwing up voluntarily
That it became so easy.
that when I used to eat, I never had to put my fingers down my mouth to throw up.
Wow.
It used to automatically come out. And I'm sure if you studied the biology of the body and everything, the acid reflux and everything. And
obviously like a mental torture now because your body knows.
Yeah, exactly. And
your body knows, okay, I'm not meant to have food now, let's just puke it up.
Exactly. And I'm lying there after having fish and chips. I'm thinking, I feel crap. I've eaten this. The guilt conscious comes in. I'm going to go to the toilet. Give me 5 minutes. Let me just rest. Without even having to make it to the bathroom, it just came out. And there was lots of blood. And I was like, sugar, I'm going to die. And that's when I realized, I'm going to have to do something about this. And my skin all along here, because of the teeth marks and the acid, the teeth and everything, it was a horrible state that you put yourself through.
Was you biting yourself? Is that why you had teeth marks?
No, because when you're forcing your fingers down, they're obviously they're teeth marks. Yeah, and that's when I realized again. Scary. That was actually one of my scariest turning points.
So when you said your sister went to tell your parents, didn't they ask you what you're doing?
Well, they knew. I was always in denial of it. But the fact that she went to the living room, it was almost like I was embarrassed. Oh, no. It's like, oh my God, my little sister.
So they knew, but they didn't really want to interrogate you about it.
Well, they interrogated me all the time. They they were telling me off. But when you don't know about that situation as a parent, how do you get your child to stop?
Yeah.
It's not like you can criticize them, but that makes it even worse.
So when you got the blood and the horror into your face, like you said, with the teeth marks, is that when you had a wake-up call again?
It was a very, very, it was an emergency wake-up call, because when you see blood, it's like, am I dying? Yeah. And it wasn't I stopped straight away. I just knew I had a problem. And I just didn't know how to actually seek help. I didn't know there was eating disorder. Therapists out there going to the doctor saying, oh, hello, by the way, I make myself sick. Do you have any medication? It just didn't register in my head at the time.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So then you stopped. So did you start training yourself? Did you do this alone?
Yeah. So then I discovered the gym. I realized, exercise is the way to make myself
So when you start eating again now?
Not bad at all. I mean, I was so very in control of what I ate, and I was mortified because the weight had come back on. So I needed something else to drop the weight now. And so I discovered the gym. And back then, at the age of 21, going into a gym was very daunting. Bearing in mind, I was very self-conscious, overly self-conscious, not confident as well. That was mistaken for being arrogant or stuck up. So I used to walk into the gym all the time, and I was just to run for like an hour solid. The hour became 2 hours, the 2 hours became 3 hours. And so now my eating disorders from bulimia and anorexia became a gym disorder because I was obsessing about getting a workout in. But on the flip side of it, I wouldn't eat anything the whole day apart from like an apple maybe or a sandwich.
I just wondering where you got the energy from.
I even wonder myself, because I can't do that anymore. I really can't. It's like, can I really spend 3 hours in the gym?
Because I tried doing that. Because I remember going through a weight loss phase when I was in college, like yourself.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit chubby. I was on the chubby side as well. So I can relate to that. I was on the chubby side. And my brother used to take the mick out of me. Like, bully me and say, oh, you're so big, you're so big, so big. And that used to really get to me. Yeah. And I was actually just a happy teenage girl who used to love eating.
Yeah.
I used to love my fish and chips, like you said. Just come after school, watch telly, eat.
Yeah.
That was just heaven, you know. And I would go through a bar of massive chocolate. Like,
me too.
but I would never puke it out. But I'm just saying but then as soon as I reached, like you said, when you reach college, you think, okay, you're just taken away from that safe haven. Because when you're in when you're in secondary school, everything's like around you, so you're protected, and still you got nice teachers, and nobody cares about weight, which is great. I did used to see some slim girls and think, why am I not that slim and stuff like that? But, you know, and I used to try to ask the PE teacher to give me extra sessions after like thingy. But then I was saying, as soon as I reached college, that's like you said, you think, I want my clothes to be a bit looser. My mom used to make them really big for me, so I was like, she's making more room for me, she's not making it easier. So then I got to a phase where, like you said, I think it's just that age, your metabolism is very high.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't do any exercise. Have you heard of Adios supplements? You get these weight loss supplements.
Oh yeah. They're the worst things that you can have.
Really?
Yes.
So I took those.
Yeah.
And I used to just concentrate on my studies and stay in, like typing up my essays and stuff like that. And then I lost so much weight, and then I literally lost so much weight. Then I went to a family wedding that my sister-in-law, my cousin, she couldn't recognize me. She thought I was someone else. Literally, I must have lost about 10 kilos or like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So, and I think, but now if I do that, and I hardly used to eat, one meal a day, I used to just have like a packet of crisps or something in the day. I wasn't like really cautious about what I was eating, and then eat when I go home, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I took out all the sugar and all the fizzy drinks, and then if I do that now, it doesn't work. So I think, like you said, if I do it now, I would drain myself. Your body goes into a drainage state. Like, what are you doing to me? Give me fuel.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So how will you survive? Like I'm saying, I think it's just that age. Your blood is young. I think it's just rushing to you, isn't it? And then it can handle all this pressure.
Definitely. I mean, when you're young, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But
you don't realize it until later.
Yeah. I mean, I say now, knowledge and educating myself in the right way about my body has been the powerful thing that I could have ever invested in, because now I know what works and what doesn't. Before, I was trying to do something that apparently worked for everyone. There was like a miracle potion or something. And then when you understand what's going on, it's like, holy crap, this is why I am the way I am, and I blame the advertising and everything. But what I did wrong when I was 21 was I didn't know what personal trainers were about. This is the funny thing. Everybody has a body, and everybody thinks they know how to work their body.
Yes.
But they don't. And I was a prime example. I went through hell and back trying to get this perfect body, which was have a six-pack, make sure I was toned.
Did you get a six-pack?
I had a six-pack because I trained like an animal all the time.
So you, like you said, I'm saying, so when you started into this training, was after university, right?
Yeah.
You went a bit crazy with the exercise, 3 hours a day. I remember you saying earlier.
It's called self-obsessed. It's called vanity on a different level.
So was you not ever happy with yourself?
No. So what happened was, when I used to train 3-4 hours a day or whatever, I didn't realize the impact it was having on my body. I was running in the wrong shoes, the trainers. I incurred a lot of injuries on a daily basis.
Internal injuries?
Gosh, let's not even go there.
Really?
Torn muscles and sciatica, my lower back problems, and not having the correct form and technique in the gym. And again, like I said, I never seeked help because I thought I knew it all. And everybody thinks they know it all in the gym, when really
you don't.
You are actually more at stake of killing yourself. You know, hospitals now, they have more people injured from gym workouts.
Really?
Yes, because if you imagine somebody doing a kettlebell throw, using a piece of equipment, they throw their back in, do something really quickly.
There's one person I saw a video on Instagram actually. You know the leg workout?
Oh, please don't. It's horrible. I don't touch the machines.
No, it was quite a big. I don't know what they're called.
Yes, I've seen it. The leg press.
Leg press. He did that. His leg broke.
Yeah, it snapped.
Snapped in half, opposite direction.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, so from there, by the time I was probably just when I finished university, which was in 2004, I remember, okay, I can't carry on with the gym anymore. I really can't. I have this amazing body. I can't appreciate it. I can't appreciate it because I didn't work for this body for me. I worked for it so other people around me can say, oh my God, you look amazing.
Did that make you feel good?
I thought it did, but it didn't. I was forever unhappy. I was miserable all the time. I was always miserable. I do not remember being happy during those
How long did this
fundamental
cycle go
years.
on for?
A long time. I mean, that was the beginning of my exercise journey.
Were you eating then at this point properly?
No,
Like,
not
controlled
properly.
eating.
I mean, when I went through my regimental exercise phase, it was still very restricted what I did eat and what didn't. The only thing that was different was I stopped making myself vomit or going through this whole starvation period. And by the time I was about 21, I was out of the gym. I had incurred so many injuries that my hip was aligned like this. I couldn't even walk properly. I had a really horrible injury right from the left side all the way down to the hamstrings, sciatic, the lower back from the
Do you still
psoas
suffer from
muscle.
these injuries?
And my lower back is very sensitive. Like
Okay.
it's mentally in my head as well. So I have to
you don't
be
do
very
weights?
careful. I do weights, but I have to be very careful around that area because it's there in my
System.
yeah. So I'm like quite
Yeah.
scared of it.
Yeah.
So then I came out of the gym for like I would say 2 years where I did not train,
Okay.
and in those 2 years
What made you stop? Would you just?
I
be
just got bored.
motivated?
So the willpower is something that we actually don't possess, and something that I learned from one of my mentors. Willpower is like an elastic band. If you carry the elastic band around with you the whole day, eventually it's
gonna
going to go like this. You're not going to be able to hold it like that. It will snap. And that's how willpower is in our brain. You say you're going to do it. This is how New Year's resolutions do not work. People have these amazing goals at the beginning of the year. By the end of the month, this is 4 weeks, they've gone back to the old habits. So, well, if you don't know anything about it, then you carry on, and you die. You literally die to get this perfect body. So when I was at the gym, I thought I need to do something. I can't get fat. Being fat is not how I'm going to go down.
Would you put on weight in these 2 years?
Yeah, dramatically.
How much did you put on?
I don't know. I had a belly. My six pack had
were you
disappeared.
like obsessed with weighing yourself all the time as well?
All the time, actually. I forget. See, when I talk about it, that's when
Yeah.
I realize my addiction.
I've stopped weighing myself. It
Yeah.
depresses me.
Yeah,
I just don't. I think
yes.
now inches is the main thing.
Yeah,
Inch loss, because sometimes when you work out, like because I've been studying and I realize a lot of women I see when they have the body transformation, the weight's the same,
Yeah.
but they look a lot slimmer because that's muscle now,
yeah,
and it's not fat.
yeah.
So I'd rather be that and healthy rather than
Exactly.
be just way low weight and look crap. Not crap, but your
Not
body looks
Yeah,
dysfunctional.
yeah.
You know,
I was obsessed with the weighing scale, so much so I had 3 at home, and every
3 at home?
Yeah, there was this automatic one, then the dial-in one.
so you check all of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. Don't do this.
So what if one was showing a lot
Yeah,
less than the other
yeah.
one, or more? Would that freak you out?
Definitely, it will freak me out.
Oh my
Then I'll have to go
gosh.
to Boots Pharmacy, and they had this beautiful big machine that will do your weight, height,
do
water,
it.
everything. And every week on a daily basis, I had to. It was a mental thing.
That's 4 weights now.
Yeah, 4. Can you imagine?
Once a week, so you'd go to
Once
Boots.
a week. I had to, like a religion. It was like, hi Boots, here I am again. Tap, tap, tap.
50p.
50p, exactly. And it's a really horrible state to be in, to be honest, because you're constantly measuring your worth, who you are, by what the numbers are saying. And then when I discovered weight training in the process of finding the gym, if one day it said 61, I was like, oh my God, I've gained weight. Because I didn't have the scientific knowledge of weight training, fat loss, the difference
Water.
between all of that stuff, even the monthly cycle that we come on,
It makes you
that
put-
makes
that
a
put
yeah,
weight as well.
huge dramatic impact. And then I'll kill myself in the gym thinking, why am I so weak? Why can't I do 20 press-ups? Oh, hang on a minute. You need to be kind to yourself
Yeah.
and ease off, because you're not that strong when you're going through this period. The changes in the body now, but nobody teaches you that, or you don't go out of your way to learn about this. My only source of information was magazines. And what do these magazines do for us? It internalizes this concept of what beautiful means.
Yeah. And there are lots
And-
of slim women on there and fit
Yeah.
people, and yeah.
And it's not like there was an Indian person on these front of these magazines. We don't know if they're photoshopped at the time as
They
well.
are, trust me.
Yeah, now I know they are.
They are. And do you think their skin are that glowy? No,
Yeah.
they're not. It's just the camera effect.
Yeah, and so
When you meet these people in reality, you won't recognize them.
I remember there was one time I was in the best shape because I just discovered weight training.
Was this
And-
after 2 years period?
In that period, and I remember I was getting physically really strong, and all the lines were coming back and everything.
It's after the 2 years of...
No, in between the 2 years.
Okay, in between. Okay.
In between the 2 years. And I went and weighed myself.
What motivated you then?
I don't know, just still to
Health.
look good. Yeah, no, health wasn't ever on my agenda at the
Oh,
time.
really?
Looking good was on the agenda.
So you went back into it?
Yeah.
And
After my 2 years of having bad injuries and stuff, and when I took the time out, I discovered boxing, and that's where it was another journey of channeling my energy and my anger issues, I reckon.
Really?
Yes.
So what was the anger? Why were you angry?
Why was I angry? Listen, when you are the first child of the family,
Too much pressure.
there's so much pressure.
I see.
I don't know why I was angry. Guess it was teenage hormones playing and everything.
Yeah. So you discovered boxing during those 2 years?
Yeah,
Okay.
literally. And that was an 8-year... I boxed for about 8 years, but I never took it seriously. It was just to get fit, just to make sure I stayed trim. And then I found out I was pretty good at it. And then my coaches started putting me in tournaments and everything.
Wow.
But I wish I had taken it a bit more seriously, to be honest with you, because I picked up the sport really quick. And
You still do it now as a fitness
yeah, just as a form of saying, okay, I can still box. Hey, look at me.
Don't be here in the street and don't bug us. You'll box
Hey,
your
look
face.
at me.
Yeah, okay. So, did you do any fights?
I had like 3 or 4. I lost all my fights before you asked me how many times I won.
I wasn't going to ask you that question.
It was always like a 1 point draw or
But
1
still,
point
how
loss.
was that experience? Was that scary, being an opponent?
I think any boxer or any fighter will always tell you it's always scary. But when you are actually
In
an
the ring.
athlete in that kind of environment, it's a different kind of confidence. It's a different kind of person. You don't go in as the same person as you did initially. You come out at the other end. It's like a self-discovery process. Learning how to handle your emotions, learning how to handle your opponent, who you are at the moment. Are you being are you disciplined? Are you in control? How much power are you asserting? It's all about fundamentally growing and building you in this sport.
Speaking of growing,
Yeah.
you've created Fitness Reborn.
Yeah, Fitness Reborn.
So we've got a small snippet to show you of what actually Fitness Reborn is.
Yay.
Hi, I'm Nazia Khatun. Here at Fitness Reborn UK, we provide the ultimate mind and body transformations. Today is a day of new beliefs and new beginnings, new challenges, new arrivals and new ties. Today we become stronger than yesterday, and yesterday is where we left an old shadow behind. Today marks another day of triumph, and triumphs are made out of challenges. Today I'm here to make it rain, where the thunderstorm will want to join too. It is all happening today. Conditioning the body is easy. Conditioning the mindset is what we need the most help with. And we grow each day as we come to harbour whom we become inside. We're here to create someone for you, get results faster and quicker. Here we will find out everything about you from inside and out to create new and everlasting changes.
To do this.
It's the people who help us on the journey to become faster, bolder and more fierce than yesterday. We are all born champions, inside the ring and outside. You deserve happiness. You deserve to discover what else is in store for you in life. Take a chance on yourself and invest in yourself because nobody else will.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that video. There's you doing a lot of boxing there, and you're doing something with a client that you like helping them align their body and stuff like that. So tell me a bit more about Fitness
Reborn.
Yes.
Fitness Reborn. Okay, so
So basically, you've turned your, let's say, your biggest nightmare into a passion. That's the best way to put it. Actually,
yeah, I like that.
Put your nightmare into a passion, so you become like a very motivational fitness coach, where you don't just work with the body, but you work with the mindset as well, because the mindset is the main thing, isn't it, really? So when did you realize that I want to do this this is my passion, like this is what I want to do for a living?
Okay, so when I finished boxing in 2009, I decided, okay,
why did you so you just gave up boxing? That must have been difficult, actually. How was the cultural aspect of that? Was family not was against you? Was like people around you just, when you're meeting males at the boxing ring, like when they must have taken, like.
I had a lot of mixed reactions with boxing from the opposite gender, to be honest, and it was mixed of, wow, that's amazing, to
you're a woman.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing? It's not good and everything. My parents have been, they brought us up in a very liberal manner, but still they're very traditional. And I think my parents' main concern was boxing, being hit in the face. And another thing they did was, what would other people think?
That's the biggest stigma everywhere.
Yeah, in our culture, it's embedded from the time you're born. What people think, is my child all right, deformed or not?
I think that's just everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It's now I understand it's hardwired in our brain for survival and everything. And my parents weren't exactly happy with me boxing, and because I was the eldest as well, and we have this thing, females get to a certain age, we want to get them married, and by the time I was getting all these wedding proposals as well, they were rejecting me because of the fact that I was a boxer. And it can be intimidating, I understand, being
a dominant person,
Bangladeshi female, and then having, don't talk to me, I will box you.
Exactly.
I can imagine.
Put them up.
And I lived very much in my masculine energy at the time when I was boxing, which you naturally do.
Yeah, you have to.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Punch. And it was a mixed kind of feedback, and I stopped when I realized, okay, maybe this is a time when I just
and
focus
it's hard
on something.
work as well, isn't it?
Immensely. When you are boxing, you're eating boxing, you're drinking boxing, you're sleeping boxing, you're thinking
remember
boxing.
You saying for 6 whole months you had a very restricted diet, no sweets.
But I used to love it.
Really?
It was such, you can't explain the euphoric feeling that you get. It's this, you feel invincible. It's like you feel untouchable, right? Yeah. Nobody can bully you.
Does it make you into a very egoistic person?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think if there's any humble boxers right now.
There are so many. Most of the sports people I know, they are very humble. I think with sports people, they get judged as well, and we put ourselves. But it's in my experience, sports people do that sport because it comes from a place where they felt not so confident. And mine was lots of insecurities.
So boxing helps you become very confident.
Amazingly. If anybody wants to become confident, go and find a sport. And
boxing.
not necessarily boxing, but find something that will suit your character, environment, whatever it is. Boxing elevated my confidence to a different level. When I used to go for job interviews, it was amazing, because it was like, now I've got this unsaid power behind me, and it wasn't a physical person, it was me, because I've got this thing that nobody else has that creates another better version of me. And the anger disappeared because I was channeling it all out on boxing, and it was amazing.
It's hard to believe you had a bit of anger issues.
I have a very, very angry side. I'm sure everybody does.
No, but you look like a very placid, very laid back person, so I can't really imagine.
I'm very, yes, I am, but everybody has their moments.
Yeah.
I have learned how to be patient a lot as
great.
growing up and everything. And how Fitness Reborn was actually created was the time I finished boxing in 2009. I went on this horrible path of not knowing what to do in the gym. I got really bored of the gym. That's why I went into boxing in the first place. And I used to work for Nokia and Accenture, and I got bored of that as well. And I knew this, you know, when you have a dream and you know there's something that's bigger than you, that's calling you, but you ignore that noise, that voice that says, go and step out of your comfort zone and just do it. Follow your heart, follow your passion.
And you're so scared at the same time.
Exactly, because nobody has done it before. I've not seen another Bangladeshi female have a fitness coach career or something. And there were, by the time in 2010...
That's when Fitness Reborn was
No,
born.
actually, I left my full-time job to become a personal trainer.
Wow.
And again, it was facing...
Studying again.
Yeah, it was like, I'm now going to be almost coming up to the age of 30. I've now embarked on a totally different new journey. And then I had to face obstacles of my parents, not being happy with the career change. You know, I didn't have a clue where I was going with my journey. And you know, they say the grass is always greener on the other side. Yes. Mine wasn't, because I thought I got sold into this personal training fitness industry. I've made it. It so wasn't. I realized I've never worked so hard.
Really?
In my life till I became a trainer, yes. And that's when I actually found out the true meaning of working hard. I was like, wow, I've lived a very easy life so far.
Oh, wow.
And it was in 2013 I actually went through one of the toughest times of my life. That came in the name of depression. And depression in my community we don't talk about. See, there's a lot of things we don't talk about. Eating disorders, being something different.
Depression is something that would they just say, oh, you should just get over it.
Yeah, or black magic.
Oh yeah, it's black magic. When it actually isn't black, it's just I heard, reading up on black magic. It's like 90% of the time. It's like, I'm just thinking, why would I be bothered anymore? I have people that bother to do it this much to you, but it's all in our mindset, because we have a negative mindset. We need to, and that attracts negativity. Really,
exactly. You just said a beautiful point there.
Yeah.
What we think about is what we attract.
Exactly.
Yeah. And my depression came in the form of, I don't have a sport there. I have no idea what I'm doing with my career. I've just left a very comfortable, safe job. My parents are not supporting me here. I don't have a clue. That was a big decision. Yeah, and then I'm not married by then, which is another huge pressure by this time.
Yeah.
And you somehow, this is how it happens. You think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Why am I like this? How come nobody else is like this? And I'm in a house full of brothers and sisters who are all in a very comfortable job. So you're constantly comparing. But then I realized something so beautiful in that journey, because that depression actually grounded me, it humbled me, and it took me off my high horse.
Oh, good.
So it had to happen. That was part of my journey. But what I realized in that year was, hang on a minute, my whole life I've been trying to please other people with this body, trying to look good. Yeah, I'm never happy.
With myself.
Yeah. And I was reading here and then, I discovered mental strengthening, mental conditioning, but nobody ever teaches you about how to mentally go to the gym. We're talking about...
I think mindset has only recently, for the last, I'd say 10 years or so, has been very visible.
Yeah.
And approachable. And lots of people are tuning into mindset now and applying that to their lives. So you wouldn't know, like 10 years ago, I wouldn't know what it was.
I think it's always there. It's just not educated in the right way. And the personal development industry...
But now it's getting bigger.
Yeah, more and more people know about it. You're absolutely right. And so that year I discovered, oh wow, fitness has been a cursing and it has been the most amazing blessing in my life. And the blessing was, it saved me in the time of my depression. It saved me when nobody else understood me, when I isolated myself. And I could have been one of those persons who easily escalated down to the path where I wanted to take my own life. Alhamdulillah, I didn't go down that route. Yeah. And I'm still here. But that's what depression does. It takes you to a very dark place. And because of the fact I was never able to express it, I was becoming more depressed. And there was a beautiful saying from one of my coaches, and I hope I get this right. We repress our emotion, then we suppress it, and that's when it becomes depression. So when we don't talk about the things that are bothering us, we internalize it, and then it explodes. And then that's where Fitness Reborn was literally born. Fitness Reborn. So I believe there was 2 chances we get: mental rebirth and a physical rebirth. And the more I researched, and the more Islamic research I did on their health and fitness, it was like, wow,
I didn't know this before.
how come these 2 never synced before?
Yeah.
Because when we're born as Muslims, we're just Muslims. We don't practice everything
Yes.
on a whole purpose of why our existence is and what we're doing, etc. And then I thought to myself, I cannot be the only person who's gone through all of this.
Yeah.
Surely there's more Bangladeshi, surely there's more Asian females, surely there's more Muslim females going through what I'm going through. And then I started slowly.
And plus it's a great market, because
Yeah.
I think there's lots of male fitness instructors out there, and plus you're Muslim, and you know, you're Asian, you speak the language, and people can approach you.
Yeah. And every client that came to me in the last maybe 2 or more years is a start-up. Even though they had a story, I felt at ease, because I was like, oh wow, I'm
Everybody
not the
has a
only one.
story.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not the only one.
I think weight loss is one of
Yeah.
the biggest stories. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people can resonate with that.
But everybody does it wrong.
Yes.
Right? If you're not taught the whole protocol, and it's not magic, it's actually common sense.
Yes.
But the common sense actually gets overlapped behind all the diet fads we have and everything. And then slowly, my Fitness Reborn, the company, the service I provide, is all from an experience that everybody actually can relate to. Oh, Nazia, does this diet work? Well, no, darling, because you're not working with your body type. This food may not be adapted to your lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. And it's amazing the feedback I had. And I was like, okay, I'm not giving this up then. I think this is where I belong.
It.
I love it. I love it, because when people at the end turn
And you
around
see
and say
them.
to them, it's not just watching them physically change.
Internally.
It's the internal. When they come in, I'm not even kidding with you, myself. I wish you can see some of the transformations. They come in and they're like,
it's amazing.
they come in like they've got no life in them, and they become this amazing, confident person by the end. And when I get them to do a testimonial for me, and they text me, Nazia, you didn't just change my life, you saved my life.
Oh, that's lovely.
And then you have their spouses saying, thank you for giving my wife back. I'm like, whoa, whoa, because it gives me goosebumps. And that's that's what I thrive on, I think. And I think we're all here to serve other people. And I found something that I can serve, and it gives me that pleasure that I was able to change somebody's life as well.
That's wonderful. So if anybody wants to get in contact with you, what's the best way, would you say? They go to you have a website, or?
Website is www.fitnessrebornuk.com, or you can find me on Facebook.
Nazia Khatun,
Yeah,
so
Nazia
they can work
Khatun.
with you one-to-one. And,
One-to-one.
And do you work with them as much as they want to, or do you give them a set program? How does it work?
So what happens is, my program is a bit unique in terms of what I do. It's not just about training. It's about understanding where the person is. So I do like a behavioral analysis, lifestyle analysis, and a body assessment. Everybody knows how to lose weight in theory. We talk about their language, what they're doing, where their emotions are at the time. And it's a transformational journey. You're literally going on a journey with me for 6 weeks or 12 weeks, depending on how much you want to drop. And it's about discovering who you are. And fitness is just a tool. And all the coursework I've done in understanding the brain. And alhamdulillah, I've been very grateful to go on these courses and actually investing in myself as well. The more I learn about how the brain works, the neuroscience, it's like this. You can change somebody's habits and patterns very quickly. You can take them from one end of the spectrum to the end where they want their goals and everything. Like one of the clients who I've just finished working with for the last 3 months, she was on a 12-week program. She came to me at the size of 20 to 22, the size, that clothes she was wearing. We got her down to a size 14.
Wow.
In literally 3 months. I didn't change a single bit of her diet. I didn't tell her what she should and shouldn't eat. I guided her, right? I gave her a choice. And this is what people forget. They have a choice. When we restrict ourselves, that's when it becomes a problem with dropping the weight. We got her to exercise for her body type. So that's another thing.
Body
you have to
type.
understand what body type you
So
are.
did you, obviously you went into learning more about the body and
Yeah.
about nutrition and stuff as well. Did you?
I'm not a nutritionist. I'll tell you now, I'm not a nutritionist.
Okay.
I understand what foods people have to eat
to burn, accelerate fat loss.
Yeah, and my main key message in Fitness Reborn is you want to fall in love with your body. You want to accept who you are. And that's one of the key things I struggled with all my life until the last 3 years. Now I don't mind if I have a bit of a curve and there's a little muffin top sticking out. As long as I'm training and I'm eating, that satisfies me. And there's no right or wrong answer in anything. It's just knowing. It's just finding the why you want to drop the weight, and being motivated inwardly rather than finding the external motivation.
So what's your opinion on supplements then? When people take weight loss supplements and stuff like that.
Okay, weight loss supplements are no go.
Why?
Okay, so if you think about,
is it a placebo effect, you think?
it, definitely, because if you go to the fitness section or the fitness market area, how many diet products do you see nowadays?
So many.
How many diet books have we got on Amazon?
Loads.
Okay, why are there loads? These are the questions people need to ask. Why don't we just have one book, one diet product? But no, we don't, because there's so many, over maybe 1 million. This is how they make their money, and this is how people don't understand how we become the money-making product. Diet A doesn't work because it's set up to fail. Okay, because you lose the weight.
Have you heard of Diet A? There's one. Ally, have you heard of?
I've heard of all of them. If you go to some of my videos, you will see me going to Superdrug, picking it up and telling you exactly why they don't work. Because
did they kick you out?
Luckily, no. I do it and I run.
Degrading our products.
Yeah, I do it and I run. Like, let's take for example.
What about natural ones then? Would you not recommend?
What is a natural?
Well, I'm just saying, if it's like you use natural herb, like they use a natural ingredients to create the supplement. No.
Okay, so let's think of it this way. If you have a diet pill, the diet pill doesn't work, you get frustrated. You become stressed out. You become annoyed. Oh, I've lost 1 stone, wicked. Then you go back to it again. You go and put the weight back on. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Because you've actually taken something.
Did you take any of these when you were growing up?
What did I take? I've taken fat burners before, which left me with severe stomach cramps.
Really?
I've tried, look, all my diets were my eating disorders. Those were my diets.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, those were the things that I used to think would work, but it doesn't.
What about CLA? Have you heard about CLA?
CLA is good because we don't get it in our meats and everything. The fresh meat is good, and it just aids that whole metabolism and
would you
burning
say
fat.
Not having essential vitamins and minerals in your body can slow down your metabolism?
So naturally, our food, where we get the sources of our food, is chemically, and it's not the purest of everything. So we are missing out on the most essential vitamins and minerals.
Like we
anyway.
had Shafaqat last week anyway. He was saying if you used to have cow's milk,
yes,
if it's from the cow, eating grass fed,
that's
better for you than having the bottled milk, because they use a lot of hormones and stuff like that. So obviously you're not going to get the full calcium. Obviously you might get some of the calcium, but then you're added with lots of hormones in your body.
But then again, we've been taught that we get the best calcium from cow's milk. But it's the opposite. It can actually ruin our body as well. But people don't understand this because we've been doing this all our life. But I don't believe in diet products and everything. You don't have to even go to the gym.
So what about protein powders and stuff?
Okay, let's not even go down that route for now, because it all depends. Listen, depending on what kind of athlete you are, but for the average person,
protein powders for those people who want to train and look lean. No,
you can get protein from your diet.
So you don't agree with? Well, what if you're not eating enough protein?
I don't agree. I'm not saying I don't agree with protein powders or anything, because I used to take it myself when I used to train, only because it used to give me that extra bit of protein in the diet when I'm training extra hard. So make sure that I'm recovering properly and making sure I'm rested properly and everything. And when average females come to me and say to me, should I take a protein powder? Would it help me lose weight? No. You're not even training hard enough to take this, because if you're utilizing it and it's not being processed in the body, where is it going to go? It's just going to flush you out. So it's not really being utilized in the system. And I always encourage my students to have
more fiber. What about fiber?
All of that. Just stay natural. Stay natural as you can. If you can,
if you increase the fiber in your body, will that help you lose more weight?
It's not. You have to have an element of mixture of everything. Fiber is essential for the body.
But say if someone
drink
you have is
water.
very chubby, and then who's a bit chubby and they want to lose weight, and if they add lots of fiber to their diet, and then they start exercising, is that going to help them?
It's not just even about adding lots of fiber, because that even itself can have detrimental effects if you have too much of something. Stay moderate.
What about chia seeds? They're meant to be very good. In protein.
Listen, everything in moderation.
Okay.
I eat cakes, chocolate, everything in moderation. Okay, so you can't say let's just cut out everything and increase something more off. Of course, if you have a medical condition, then it's different. Just have this balance of, you want to enjoy food. Food is there. It's for the purpose of living a long life.
Yeah.
And you just need to know what foods is going to elevate your energy, productivity, and everything, rather than making you feel damp and moody. And most of the time in today's society, we have a lot of mental health issues. People don't realize the food that we eat can actually directly have an effect on our mental issues as well. If you're somebody who's going through depression or a sad time, focus on what you're eating.
Yeah, because when I'm a bit down, I eat chocolate.
Exactly.
It cheers me up.
It cheers. But then
if I'm having a very stressful day, I'll go buy myself a Cadbury, and you know what? Honestly, within like 5 minutes, my stress is gonna like relax. I'm like, now I can deal with this. I think it's just it's a sugar rush, isn't it? Just make you feel happy for those few minutes.
Chocolate. Listen, let's not. Chocolate makes everybody happy. It makes me happy. It makes you happy. If we're happy, then we're okay.
Another important question I want to ask you is plateau.
Mm-hmm.
Does plateau exist?
Yes.
What causes a plateau weight loss? Like, plateau, if you don't know what it means, is when you are losing weight for a while and then it freezes, and no matter what you're doing, and it stops. So
the body is it's the most cleverest machine you'll ever find. Okay, your mind is your body's actually dumb.
Really?
It is actually really dumb, because this powerhouse is what engineers your body to move. If I say
if I say I can eat whatever I want and I'll be still slim, so I'll still be
slim. You'd be very surprised if you kept saying, "Oh, food makes me feel fat," and food makes me. You will end up
adding
attracted.
that energy to the food.
Exactly.
Yes, I read about that in one of my.
So the plateau zone is. So for example, if you came on a program with me, Musart, and let's just say hypothetically you weigh about 13 stones. Let's just say you started with me today. In 4 weeks' time, the workout that you do with me, right? Let's just say, for example, you went to the gym 4 weeks by yourself, and you did the same thing every single day. So body's like, oh, this is interesting, this is new. You'll make the changes very dramatically, right? Depending on how many times you go. Then by the 4th week, you'll be like, maximum, say about 4 or 5 weeks, it gets used to doing the same thing all the time.
So you have to change.
So this is one of the key things I used to get frustrated with, because I didn't understand how the human body worked. I didn't know how to mix up the exercises and everything. So by the 5th week, your body's like, we're not making any more changes. I'm bored of this cardio.
That's why you stop losing weight.
And then you stop. And this is where people go from being super excited, they hit this plateau zone,
and then they completely stop.
And they go all the way down. And then when they go down 13 stones, they put it back on again, and then they might even put more back, because they can't be bothered to go back to the gym. So my job as a coach is to make sure when you come to a program with me, every week is different, so that we keep our bodies guessing all the time. And you're going to imagine there's a triangle.
Is that with any exercise, would you say, that will happen?
Well, yes, of course.
Because yoga is meant to be very good for you, and that's
for flexibility and all that stuff.
And
you have
stretches your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I should do that.
If you do that every day, when I had sciatica, I started it this week. I've been forcing myself every morning, and I've been seeing a big difference. So you should definitely do it.
I should.
I'm just saying, it's like, is it because you think your body has molded you enough at that point, and it wants a challenge? You would say.
It always wants a challenge. It always wants to be. If you want to see the changes, you've got to keep the variety different. You're going to introduce. What
about if you do double cardio then?
No. So double cardio.
I remember doing that once. Actually, years ago when I was going through running, I got into a very good running phase. Somebody told me you should run, because I was like, I'm not losing any more weight or something. Like, you should run 45 minutes. So I would make myself run 45 minutes a day.
Did you drop the weight?
Yeah, I did after that.
Did you put it back on again quickly?
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay.
When you do double cardio, you drop the weight very quickly, and then you put it back on again. Do you know why that is?
No.
Because you had a guest last week.
Nazia Khatun.
Do you remember what he said?
Exercise is stress.
Exactly. So the body, when you're stressing the organs,
just walk 20 minutes a day and you're fine.
Yeah. If you're smart with how the body works, you don't have to put that much effort into it. And when you're doing a lot of running, you're going to imagine when you're going up and down, everything's moving inside you. And your organs are not designed to go up and down, okay? And then we have all these other hormones in place as well, like the cortisol hormone, which is the regulation of your fat storage. Then the stress comes in, then the stress is added on, because we all have stress. Cortisol loves stress, stress loves cortisol. So they say, okay, let's become friends and let's elevate your fat storage up higher. And then you got to remember, if you're not drinking enough water, if you haven't had a good nutritional meal, all of these things come into play. So you have to be very smart with how you're training. And it's not even about training hard to get what you want, because when my girls come on the program, by the 3rd week, oh, I've dropped the weight, how did this happen? A miracle has happened. And they haven't really changed much. They haven't done anything, because all I said to you, you can do whatever you want, but this is a choice here you have. They automatically make up their mind, because the brain becomes rewired and you create new habits, but slowly. But I wanted to just point out, you're going to imagine there's a triangle. At the top, we have cardio, which is a small element of your workout. Then females don't do weight training.
I heard about it. So I heard somebody tell me, she spoke to a fitness trainer friend of mine, and she said, if you want to lose weight, the best way to do it is to do weight training before you run, do cardio. That burns more fat. Is that true?
So weight training at the beginning of a session is, you need a lot of strength.
No, but you could do like 1 kg. That's
no. Musart, we're not talking it, but I'm gonna go. I'm going.
But it's a 1 kg too.
I think a 1-year-old can do a 1 kg.
No, but when you're starting out fresh, come on, like 1 kg to start off with. Like, you don't want to pressurize your arms too much.
1 kg is a bit too light, I think. At least go for 5, 4.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah.
On 2 arms? Are you crazy?
Yes, easy.
My back will break.
Like there. It's easy. It won't break. You'll be surprised how...
Trust me, when I start weight training with 1 kg, my arms are aching. No, but you know, if you're doing vigorous works out, like punching and... That's 1 kg should be enough. Okay, 1 kg each, not 1 kg to combine, woman.
If you're doing shadow boxing, okay, fine, I get it.
Yeah.
Shadow boxing itself is quite exhausting.
Yeah. Maybe for like a little 5-year-old for a second, but okay.
But you have to remember, cardio, weight training, and a good diet. The gym work is only 20% of your end goal of what you want, and the rest is the diet, which is the 80%.
We could talk forever. Right, before we go, I have one more video to show of Nazia. Then I want to get her to give a few more tips before she leaves us. Well, you're doing some boxing there, woman.
That was a very long time ago. A very long time ago. That was probably about 6 years ago, and I still had the power. I still got the power.
Yeah, we will have the power, don't we? Anyway, before we leave, I'd like you to leave some tips or advice that people can start applying to their life straight away, and just take away from your interview. So, what is your soul hardcore advice that you would give to people? Look at the camera with you.
So my sole hardcore advice would be, everybody actually knows how to drop the weight. Exercise, eat less. But the reason why people put the weight on or get frustrated is they don't know how to apply the why. When you have a bigger reason of why you want to drop that weight, what happens, the brain understands there's a meaning, a deeper meaning behind it. So for example, the clients I take on, some people might have a wedding coming up, but they also want to look good on the wedding day. Some people maybe want to be a role model for their children, to eat well, to look good, to be fit and active. So you got to literally find out maybe 10 different reasons why you want to look good. Let me give you an example of myself. Now when I go on, I'm doing videos, I'm going to be doing shoots and everything. I want to look healthy. I want to look energetic. I want to feel energetic. So if I have those reasons, the automatic response I will get in the gym will be just to train. The other hint I give you is stop reading magazines and stop looking at all the diet Google things has it provide for you, because that just complicates your idea of what fitness means. And then just go back into yourself to understand, what does fitness mean for you, what does healthy eating mean for you, and also actually find somebody that can help you in the industry. When we are ill, we don't go and give ourselves a cure and think we're a doctor. We actually go to the doctors. When we have a wound, we go to the A&D. So it's the same way, having a personal trainer, body transformation coach, they can show you and guide you along what to do, how not to do, and form and technique is the biggest thing that people actually go on this recurring injury and they don't come back to the gym, feel demotivated. And yeah, I'm here as well, so look me up, ask me for help if you need it, email me, whatever it is. My website is www.fitnessrebornuk.com. You can also find me on Instagram, which is actually full of stuff which I'm sure you will love, Fitness Reborn UK 1. And my name is Nazia Khatun. I'm always here.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, until next time, stay tuned for next week, the live show with Musart.